Hare Krishna, everyone. Thanks for joining for today's Bhagavad Gita class. We are reading from 11th chapter, the universal form. Let us begin with auspicious prayers. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Destarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Prapanna Parijataya Totra Vetraikapanaye Jnanamudraya Krishnaya Gitamrita Duhe Namaha. We are reading from 11.55, the last sloka in this chapter, which is the essence of Bhagavad Gita and the summary of 11th chapter. Krishna summarizes in this sloka who will actually and certainly come to him. Let me recite the sloka. Mat karma krit mat paramo mat bhakta sangavarjita nirvaira sarva bhuteshu yasa mam yeti pandava. My dear Arjuna, he who engages in my pure devotional service, free from the contaminations of fruitive activities and mental speculation, he who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life, and who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me. So, we have discussed on mat karma kran and mat paramo. How one can perform Krishna karma and how one should consider Krishna as a supreme, Parama. Yes. These are the list of things. First one is working for Krishna, Krishna karma. One needs to offer work, one needs to offer the results of the work also to Krishna with full honesty, dedication, without any attachment to the results. One needs to perform that work to Krishna. Only that is considered as Krishna karma. And second one is considering Krishna as a supreme, Krishna as Parama. This we have discussed yesterday. We have a lot of material and spiritual responsibilities in one's life. So one should have some temporary goals. It is not that one should not have. One should have based on one's body. One has bodily responsibilities and temporary goals in their in our spiritual life. But Krishna should be our eternal goal, which means if there is a clash between spiritual goal and then material goal, one needs to prioritize spiritual goal. Krishna should be given more priority. That is the meaning of Krishna to be considered as a supreme. He is central and the highest position allotted. You have a to-do list in your life, then the top priority is to be given to Krishna. Only after performing Krishna conscious activities, one needs to start his day. Then one is understood to be giving priority to Krishna. It is not that one is filling the time left for Krishna. Krishna consciousness is not an activity which is to be done when you are free. It needs to be done without leaving any free time. 24/7, one needs to perform Krishna consciousness. So Krishna is to be considered as the supreme, and the priority for Krishna consciousness is to be at highest. Today we will read the next two, Mad Bhakta and Sangavarjita. Giving up the bad association, material association. So one considers Krishna as a Parma supreme, then he doesn't hankers for material pleasures or for Brahmajyoti or for Mukti or liberation or anything. He considers Krishna is only high priority, just like the Gopas. And we also seen yesterday that there are different levels in people exist. One needs to perform devotional service. Nine processes of 9 limbs of devotional service are mentioned, where we have Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. And all these among these 9 limbs of devotional service, one can perform at least one perfectly, then one can achieve Krishna easily. Slowly, by performing these processes in devotional service, process in 9 processes of devotional service, one elevates from one level to another. There are 5 levels that we have discussed yesterday. Yes, today we will discuss on how to give up bad association and why it is important. Hare Krishna. Anybody would like to continue reading purport for this sloka? Krishna, Krishna. Yes, Arjun.
Hare Krishna, Babuji.
Yes, please.
Yes. He must be freed from the association of people who are addicted to fruitive activities and mental speculation. When freed from such unwanted association and from the contamination of material desires, one favorably cultivate knowledge of Krishna. That is called pure devotional service. Anukulasya sankalpa pratikulasya varjanam. Hari Bhakti Vilas 11.676. One should think of Krishna and act of Krishna favorably, not unfavorably. Kamsa was an enemy of Krishna's from the very beginning of Krishna's birth. Kamsa planned in so many ways to kill him, and because he was always unsuccessful, he was always thinking of Krishna. Thus, while working, while eating, while sleeping, he was always Krishna consciousness in every respect. But that Krishna consciousness was not favorable, and therefore, in spite of his always thinking of Krishna 24 hours a day, he was considered a demon, and Krishna at last killed him. Of course, anyone who is killed by Krishna attains salvation immediately. But that is not the aim of pure devotee. The pure devotee does not even want salvation. He does not want to be transferred even to the highest planet, Goloka Vrindavan. His only objective is to serve Krishna wherever he may be. Hare Krishna Babaji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Arjun Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Babaji.
Okay. Yes. Remaining part will continue tomorrow. Yes. So if you see in that list, devoid of material association. So there are 2 levels. One is on the bodily level, physical level. One gets attached to the fruitive results of the activities, because Any activity one performs, one uses the five senses to perform the activity, where the five senses interact with the five sense objects, different sense objects. So when one gets involved in that activity, one considers himself as his body or as his senses, then he gets a sense of pleasure while doing that activity, and it feels nice, and one gets attached to the results. Okay, I want more, because my senses will get sense objects interaction, and then that gives me pleasure. Scientifically speaking, we get some rise in the level of dopamine or some hormones in the brain that makes us feel good. And in another level, mental speculation, here it is mentioned, fruitive activities and mental speculation. The second level is people feel very nice when they speculate, when they think this philosophy, that philosophy, that that gives it a kind of mellow for them, because mind is very fickle. It keeps on moving here and there, and if you are using it somewhere to analyze and to solve problems, some people are more into that way. They may not believe in all these Vedas and scriptures and all God. They want to think themselves, they want to understand, they only want to figure it out. To tell them that the essence and the summary and the final end point is given in Bhagavad Gita, they say, no, 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 I'll only find out. So I'll give you an example, you'll understand clearly what is this. If you, if some person is searching for nose, he doesn't know where is this nose. He's checking all his face, where is nose, he's checking his ears, he's checking his eyes, and he's checking his mouth. He's not finding that nose. Then you come to him and say that, hey, nose is there in the middle. You show him, no, 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 don't tell me, I'll find out myself. Then he goes on from backside of the head, and then he finds that nose. Oh, I found it here. Which means people, even though one provides the truth to them in an easy way, it is difficult for them to accept. They are more into the eagerness to speculate and analyze and find themselves, which takes millions of lifetimes. And even at the end of that, also, one can approach Krishna only after getting that eagerness. I want to find the truth. I want to find the truth. This is mentioned in the second chapter, where Krishna says that finding in that way is very, very difficult. It takes a lot of time for the people who want to speculate and understand the truth. Even though at the end they may get the same result, they will find Krishna only at the end. But for them, it takes millions of years. That's why that's not a recommended path. The truth, if it is mentioned and if it is given from an authentic lineage, then it is better to accept that truth theoretically and strive to realize that truth practically under the guidance of spiritual master. Otherwise, one gets attached to the results in the material activities level, or to the speculation in the mental process. So what is the problem when we get attached to these things? When one get attached to the results of the activities or to the speculation, one gets more desire to do more, and that binds us, that makes a cycle, and we get caught up in the cycle of birth and death. We will think that one day there will be something, some activity or some thought that will make me happy. You keep on doing, you keep on doing, keep on searching, one day I'll find it. This is an never ending search everyone is doing for, because we are trying to search happiness in a matter which is never possible. So that's why one needs to give up such association of people who are doing this, and we should also give up such mentalities of thinking that one day we will find happiness in matter or in our mental speculation. This is called contamination. This is called this is one way, one level of anartha only, because anartha means unnecessary, which is not necessary. We being a soul, it is not necessary for us to get addicted to these such things. Then how do we come out of this contamination of material desires? One needs to do pure devotional service. One needs to perform this 9 processes mentioned earlier. Slowly, slowly, one can rise level by level, and one can increase the time for Krishna conscious activities. One needs to manage, one needs to balance both material and physical, spiritual responsibilities, and slowly give more time for Krishna consciousness. If that is not possible, be more conscious while doing Krishna conscious activities. If you're hearing Bhagavad Gita, you can only hear half an hour. Hear half an hour very attentively, so that you can remember that what you have learned in this class till the next day's class. So if you are hearing now, tomorrow evening, tomorrow night 8:30, till that time you need to remember what we are discussed, and we need to contemplate on that. Okay, Krishna said this in Bhagavad Gita. Oh, this is very nice. I could see this happening in my life. I could see such a uh, material anarthas in me when I am dealing with other people. Such in such a way, we need to contemplate what we are hearing, what we are understanding. Otherwise, we'll forget it. It is like entering into one ear and it will go from other ear. So attentively doing devotion service, giving more time to devotional services. We need to ask our mentors, Prabhuji, please give me some service. I'm free now. I want to do something to Krishna. We need to be eager. When Krishna sees that fire in our heart, that okay, this fellow, he wants to come to me, then Krishna will send the devotees. Okay, you go and help him, assist him. He wants to know me. That is the way. Here it is a Kamsa example is given, where Kamsa continuously 24/7 he is thinking about Krishna. Why? Because he heard a prediction that one day eighth son of Devaki will come and kill you. That is for sure. That's why Kamsa is very, very continuously thinking about, okay, when will Krishna come? How he will come? And how should I protect myself, or how should I kill him? What all plans I have to do? Continuously 24 hours he's thinking about Krishna. Even at the end, he was continuously thinking. But it is not in a positive way that he's thinking, though he got a salvation after death, but it is not the purpose of a pure devotee. What is the purpose of a pure devotee? Pure devotee doesn't want anything. He is selfless. He only wants Krishna. The only need for a pure devotee is his connection with Krishna. He wants to always be conscious of Krishna. Other than that, he doesn't want anything. I don't want anything. No desires, no good or bad. Even that is good or bad, it doesn't matter. He only wants Krishna. Of course, that is beyond good or bad, nice or comfortable or not comfortable, happiness or sad, anything, hell or heaven, it doesn't matter for him. He only wants Krishna. So that pure devotion one needs to develop. See, his only objective is to serve Krishna wherever he may be. So when one person wants to continuously serve Krishna, continuously think about Krishna, then how can he get attached to fruitive activities or mental speculation? Because if you are caught up with these activities, you can't be thinking about Krishna and doing sensual activities or mental thinking. There is no place for Krishna if you are doing so. So if you are not in Krishna consciousness, then we are in Maya. There is only two things. One is Krishna and one is Maya. If you are not in Krishna consciousness, we are in the lap of Maya. So one needs to be very careful. Okay, this is also coming. Okay, let us cover this one also today itself. Non-envious. Sorry. Other than Arjun Prabhu, can someone read the purport? Hare Krishna. Chaitanya Rathod Prabhu, would you like to read
Yes, Prabhu. From where, Prabhu?
from here?
A devotee of Krishna is friendly to everyone, therefore it is said that he has no enemy. How is this? A devotee situated in Krishna consciousness knows that only devotional service to Krishna can relieve a person from all the problems of life. He has personal experience of this, and therefore he wants to introduce this system, Krishna consciousness, into human society. There are many examples, history of devotees of the Lord who risked their lives for the spreading of God consciousness. The favorite example is Lord Jesus Christ. He was crucified by the non-devotees, but he sacrificed his life for spreading God consciousness. Of course, it would be superficial to understand that he was killed. Similarly, in India also there are many examples such as Thakura Haridas and Prahlad Maharaj. Why such risk? Because they wanted to spread Krishna consciousness and it is difficult. A Krishna consciousness person knows that if a man is suffering is due to his forgetfulness of his eternal relationship with Krishna, therefore the highest benefit one can render to human society is relieving one's neighbor from the all material problems in such a way a pure devotee is engaged in service of the Lord. Now we can imagine how merciful Krishna is to those engaged in his service, risking everything for him. Therefore, it is certain that such persons must reach supreme planet after leaving the body. In summary, the universal form of Krishna, which is temporary manifestation and the form of time, which devours everything and even form of Vishnu, four-handed have all been exhibited by Krishna. Thus, Krishna is the origin of all these manifestations. It is not that Krishna is a manifestation of original Vishwarupa or Vishnu. Krishna is the origin of all forms. There are hundreds and thousands of Vishnu, but for a devotee, no form of Krishna is important. But the original form, two-handed Sham Sundara and the Brahma Samiti, it is stated that those who are attached to Sham Sundara form of Krishna in the love and devotion can see him always within the heart, cannot see anything else. One should understand, therefore, that the purport of this 11th chapter is that form of Krishna is essential and supreme.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Chaitanya Prabhu. Okay, this is very interesting because people consider that being envious, having an enemy, is a good thing. It's a little funny, but people think that the level of the target that you keep, the enemy that you choose, determines your position. That is a famous quote says. How much powerful your enemy is, that much powerful you are trying to be because you're choosing your enemy. That is a one thing. And devotee of Krishna is friendly to everyone. This is also very interesting. If you see example which is given, Jesus Christ or Haridas Thakur or Prahlad Maharaj, they are friendly to everyone. If you understand, if you take an example of Pandavas themselves, they are ready to fight against Kauravas. And now Krishna is telling Arjuna, don't be envious of anyone. What is the understanding one needs to take? Krishna, Arjuna needs to fight with them. They are in the opposite side. If you consider them as friendly, how can you fight? They are not your enemies. But again, Krishna is saying you have to fight. Okay. So let us read this. Anger can be an expression of love, and also and so can be the determination to control anger. We think that where there is love, only there we get anger. If you have a close relationship with anyone, then you will understand, you get angry upon them. Hey, why is this person doing like this? Why is, because only with close people whom we love we get angry. There is no such relationship. We don't become angry. We think, okay, this person is some outsider, why to waste our time. So people consider anger, expressing anger, as an expression of love. But one needs to understand one more point, that controlling anger is also an expression of love. How is that? Because most of the time when we become angry, we regret after that. Oh, because of angry I spoke like this, and this fellow stopped speaking with me for so long, and this relationship got broken. So all this unnecessary behavior comes out when we become angry. That is very spontaneous. That fellow was speaking something, and you start speaking something, screamings and fighting, everything happens. And at the end, you realize, okay, what happened? So, this anger is not that much healthy. So, how do we deal with this anger? Krishna is not saying one needs to suppress this anger and you be very calm. No, we need to express the anger in a different way. One needs to, in every situation, earlier we read in the purport, that one needs to, in every situation, think that how can I serve Krishna? What is the best way I can serve Krishna? So when one becomes angry, one needs to control it, in the sense regulate it and use it to serve Krishna. Here, Arjuna cannot be angry towards other party, because Krishna himself is saying that you should be friendly to every living being, all the jivas. So at the same time, Arjuna needs to perform his duty, being friendly with the Kauravas. Arjuna, without getting attached to the work, to the fighting, Arjuna needs to fight without being envious towards Kauravas. That is a difficult thing, but one needs to slowly practice. The best way one can use anger is one needs to control it and express this anger in a different way, in a way one can serve Krishna. Then one can fight over anger. Otherwise, one gets caught up with this anartha and gets puffed up that we are the doers. Let's take revenge over such people who did that and who did this. Then you can't fight properly. One needs to get detached to the work. One needs to work only for Krishna. That is the point. Even though Arjuna is fighting and he is killing the Kauravas, Krishna himself said in the starting, in the second chapter, why do you think, why are you lamenting for an unnecessary thing? The soul, which is eternal, there is no need to lament for that, because the soul is eternal. The body is temporary. You know that the body will die one day. That is, there is also no need to worry about the body. Then why are you worrying about killing your Kauravas, killing your relatives, which is a part of your duty, prescribed duty? That's why Krishna explained the real identity of a self. When we know about the self, then we will realize what we need to do in life. So one needs to be friendly to everyone. At the same time, one needs to serve Krishna the best way possible. So that is the point. Actually, you know, when someone comes out to the society and he's ready to share the truth, reality, which is very bitter and rarely people hear to it, then he will be killed. Just like Jesus Christ, and also if you know Socrates, Greek philosopher, he's also killed. Why? Because people don't want to hear truth, reality. Because if you reveal truth to everyone, there will be everything good, everything peaceful, all nice. Then there is no chance for the bad people to do business. So that's why they use our vulnerabilities, our anarthas as a, they cash with that. Okay, this fellow is more lusty. Let me make him more lusty and make more money. You understand? The more and more we get, we think that this it's okay to be in bad association. It's okay to have anarthas. It's okay to be angry, to be lusty, and to have greed. Till the time the business of rich people will run. All the whatever business you consider, everything runs only on this point that it doesn't matter what happens to the world, what happens to the humanity, what happens to the uh, living beings and the creation and the next generation. Anything doesn't matter whether I am getting money or not, whether I am happy or not. Only that matters. That's why if you go and tell them that all this business, all these things are wrong, you have to just follow Krishna consciousness, give up all this gambling, intoxication, and meat eating and everything, you will be shot. It is very difficult. Prahlad Maharaj faced a lot of difficulties by saying that Vishnu is the supreme. He's tried to be killed so many times. Same happened with the Haridas Thakur also. So it is a very difficult thing. One needs to understand, but still one needs to realize the importance of Krishna consciousness, and one needs to introduce this system to the society. Whatever may happen, one is to risk for Krishna. That is a love towards Krishna one can have. You see, this incident happened in Afghanistan that a priest, the last priest who is worshipping in the temple, he was offered that we will give you this opportunity, you can leave the place, otherwise you will be killed. But what that person said, no, I will not leave the place. If they want to kill, they can kill me, but I will consider that as a seva to my Lord. I am worshipping lords here for so many years. I can't leave my Lord here alone and go. That is what he said. If we are in that position, we will run away first. So one needs to understand how much important Krishna consciousness is for the humanity. That happens only when we personally experience this importance of Krishna consciousness in our life. This is the only solution to a lot of problems in life. Any problem you consider, that can be resolved easily by Krishna consciousness. To understand that, one needs to use his intelligence properly. Then one will work a lot for this mission of spreading Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for patiently hearing. Anybody wants to share anything in this shloka? What you have learned from this shloka? Okay, let me recite the shloka once. Mat karma krit मत परमो मत भक्ता संगवर्जिता निर्वैर सर्वभूतेषु यसा माम एति पांडवा. My dear Arjuna, he who engages in my pure devotional service, free from the contaminations of fruitive activities and mental speculation, he who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life, and who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me. Hare Krishna. Please to contemplate on this. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for hearing. We'll end here. Tomorrow we can start 12th chapter. Please join regularly. Hare Krishna. श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. हरे कृष्ण.